This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.
Welcome to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, the U.S. News & World Report's #1 engineering school in the United States that offers a master's as its highest degree for 20 consecutive years. Rose-Hulman, where you come to find yourself. Find yourself through personal growth, through personal development, through study, research, and invention. Rose-Hulman, your home for academic and athletic excellence.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
And welcome to Rose-Hulman for this afternoon's doubleheader softball game where Mount St. Joe comes in to take on the Fighting Engineers in what is really billed as one of the best teams in the HCAC. In Mount St. Joe is coming in, and when I looked over the actual batting averages of both teams, very similar. The difference is pitching in this one, and Mount St. Joe puts an excellent pitcher on the mound, and they will in both ball games, and that's a lot of softball is do you have the pitcher or not. Hello everyone, I'm Herb King. Walt Gordon is my partner this afternoon. We're going to have a great time watching some softball from Terre Haute, Indiana. And Walt, again, an excellent ball club in Mount St. Joe.
They really are, and when you look at, on paper, of course, it's our first time being able to see them live and in color, and just a very formidable opponent. Rose-Hulman has their work cut out for them today, but hey, you play the game, anything can happen, and you play your best and let the chips fall where they may.
Well, and as the starting lineups are being announced, you can see the players running out for Mount St. Joe in this one. For Mount St. Joe right now, Allie Lang will bat lead off for them and play in left field. She wears number 2. Number 22 is Kelsey Stevenson. She'll be playing second base. Number 1, the shortstop, Macy Cornelius. Number 21 in the order is the designated hitter, and that's Courtney Keller. Number 3, pitching is Casey Kemp. Number 4, right field, Maddie Kennedy. Number 18 is Elizabeth Ivers, and she'll be the catcher. Number 9, third baseman Casey Fincham. Number 7 is center fielder Emily McDonald. Number 35 is first baseman Rachel Gabbard. And again, the starting pitcher for Mount St. Joe is Casey Kemp. For Rose-Hulman, leading off is number 4, the catcher Mackenzie Morgan. Number 2 is third baseman Caitlin Sarvis. Number 11, center fielder is Nicole Lang. The pitcher for this afternoon's ball game for Rose-Hulman is Phoebe Worstel. Number 8 is the second baseman Ashley Pinkham. In the order, number 10 is shortstop Jaden Winkler. Number 14 is first baseman Kennedy McNavitz. And number 23 is Katie Palmer, and she'll be the designated hitter batting 8th in the lineup. Number 3, left fielder Lexi Fortuna, and number 5 is Haley Hoffman. And that's the order and the starters for both of these teams. We'll pause and come right back with the start of the ball game. You're watching Rose-Hulman softball.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes has the mission of leading every coach and every athlete into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ and His church. Through camps and huddles, character coaches, and special events, we are making an impact in West Central Indiana. Check out where you can get involved at our website, wcindianafca.org. FCA, we are the heart and soul in sports.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
I'm All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor for York Automotive. York is my #1 pick for your next car, truck, or SUV. Shop from over 600 vehicles at yorkautomotive.com today.
Your #1 at York.
Watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
And the players will get ready to start this ball game. Walt, what are we really looking at? And I think it's going to be pitching for the ball clubs. Both of these, the catalyst for softball has been pitching. And if I look at batting orders correctly in this one and who's hitting, Rose-Hulman has some players that have hit the ball very well. It's just been defensive errors and again, pitching that's had some problems, not with balls and strikes, but just being able to contain the other teams.
I'm not going to disagree with you, Herb, and that's something that I like to do from time to time just to keep you on your toes. But I can't disagree with you on that one. When you look at this today, especially against a team as good as Mount St. Joe's, it's got to start with the pitching. And you know, we've seen this before: walks, hit batsmen, hit battered, and errors. And you look at being sound in the field. Mount St. Joe's is a good enough team. You do not need to give them extra ABs. So limit the walks, limit the errors. You know, batting averages, I just think the numbers, when you look at the numbers, they are going to be what they are. You know, a team, you know, that is a 380 hitter, you know, been hitting as a team, they're going to hit somewhere around that in your game. They may have a hot day where they, you know, hit 450 or so, but the numbers are going to be the numbers. So you just don't want to give them extra opportunities to put runners on and to cross the plate. So limit those walks, limit the errors in the field.
Allie Lang will lead off, #2 for Mount St. Joe. And for Lang, she bats .250. She's a slap hitter, tries to get on quite often, averaging .375 and an on-base percentage coming into today's ball game. She goes for the bunt. She lays a beauty down, and you can't get up that play. She's going to have to bare hand that one, and Lang is immediately on the infield base hit. Next up for Mount St. Joe is Kelsey Stevenson, a second baseman.
Yeah, you just have no chance to win the ball. She just deadened that ball so perfectly in front of home plate, and just you couldn't, you know, you can't place it any better.
Stevenson squares the bunt, but thinks better of it, and again, good pitch that way. Worstel is going to put the ball on the plate, and she's done a very nice job for Rose-Hulman. 3-7 on the year, 14 appearances with 9 starts. She has a 5.63 earned run average, and it's by far the leading pitcher. And it's bunt your way on for Mount St. Joe, and they easily move the runner on. Outs recorded, but the runner is moved safely to second base.
And that's what Stevenson wanted to do, is move the runner over. You have to get the runner into second base or scoring position with less than 2 outs. You've accomplished that, and now you have the meat of your order starting to come up, and your RBI producers set with the table set to do their job.
Macy Cornelius is the batter. Takes that first one in there for a strike, and it's a pretty good pitch for Worstel, but Cornelius bats .364 coming in on the season as a .511 slugging percentage. That's pretty high, and she'll bunt this one right back at the pitcher. Worstel gets the out, but runner moves to third base, and that's really good for Rose-Hulman as they fielded every ball. Again, I would have liked to have seen them barehand the first one, but those, you know, bunt and run is what right now Mount St. Joe is trying to do. They're not trying to take it out of the park.
Worstel did a good job fielding a position there.
Keller takes a big cut at it. Courtney Keller, the designated hitter, up to bat now. She takes the first one in there, strike one.
Stevenson was just probably a foot away, you know, getting a little foot more towards third base. She would have reached safely probably.
Pitch over the outside, but just a little outside, and evens the count at 1-1. For Keller on the season, and again, she's a slugger as well. .342 average, 76 at bats, And she has 60 total bases, so a 789 slugging percentage and is an on-base percentage of 412. So, and she's, you can tell the first cut, and we're going to give up a run here. Rose-Hulman's going to give up a run on a pitch, and I don't know if that's going to be a pass ball or wild pitch. Either one, it's an error. Which one are you going to say on this one? It's right in that wheelhouse.
I think that it's a pass ball.
Pass
Get
ball.
your glove on it. You want to be able to come down with that. I'm no official scorer.
No, that's the official score just said that. And
okay. Right.
So it is a pass ball. That'll give the earned run or unearned run in this case, but it is earned because it is a pass ball, and that's on the it's not an earned run because it went through the catcher. So that
that's one of those things that we're talking about in the outset. The extra opportunities. You filled the position so far really well. Just one little mistake, and because of the pressure that they put upon you, they're in position to capitalize, and they did.
Keller with the walk at first, and she comes off the bag pretty hard. Pitcher is Casey Kemp, and she's their lead pitcher. She's up to bat now, and we'll talk about her in a little bit when she gets on the mound, but she also does a nice job from the plate, although not quite the tremendous leader as far as hitting, but she does bat .381 and has a .458 on-base percentage, which means she gets on almost half the time. So again, not playing all the time because she's a pitcher, but when she's in and on the mound, she's there. She rips one into left field off the wall, back in. Here comes runners at second and third now, 2 outs, and Kemp just ripped that one into left field.
And that's just getting a pitch you can turn on and turning on it and just a rocket. Just an absolute rocket out into left field.
Maddie Kennedy, the right fielder, will be up to bat. And again, early on here, batting .386 coming in. First pitch in there for a strike. And we're right in the middle of the order for Mount St. Joe. She takes a healthy cut at that one. 2 strikes now into the count. So Kennedy pauses on this one, swinging a foul ball right back over the top. We'll bring you both ball games this afternoon. Again, this first one started right at 1 o'clock, and the second will be a half an hour after the first one concludes. Ground ball picked up by the first baseman, gets the out, and we're out of the inning. 1 run is scored. And with that, we'll go to the bottom of the first, where Rose-Hulman comes to bat. They trail 1-0.
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s,
Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
From 1971
to 2021,
Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people in central and west central Indiana.
We are committed to the latest therapies
to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
There was a time when your local pharmacy defined your community. Before the days of long lines and drive-through national chains, pharmacists gave your health personal attention, and you always met with a familiar face. Back then, your questions were always answered, even when you forgot to ask. In Brazil, Indiana, that friendly local pharmacy has always been Lynn's Pharmacy since 1872. We are a modern pharmacy with the latest technology, still deliver that old-fashioned, friendly personal service today. Experience the tradition with your family at Lynn's Pharmacy in downtown Brazil.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
We're the
1-0 is our score, and as we get ready for this one here in the bottom of the first inning, Rose-Hulman comes to the plate. And seriously, I was looking at the batting averages for both of these teams, very, very similar all the way through. And when you look at the pitching, though, that's where these two teams kind of separate. Phoebe Worstel for Rose-Hulman, a 3-7 record, but more importantly, earned run average for her at 5.63. Casey Kemp comes in with a 142 earned run average and a 9-3 record. Now the record again at 9-3, that's a good record, but the 142 earned run average is tremendous.
It really is. It's really saying something. Looking for some velocity, some movement. When you look at coming out of the hand of Kemp, to have that type of an earned run average, you're getting some misses.
Mackenzie Morgan up to bat for Rose-Hulman. She bats .254 on the season and has a .296 on base percentage.
Nice healthy comp by Morgan to start us off.
And Mount St. Joe in the field, Allie Lang is in left, Emily McDonald in center, and Maddie Kennedy in right. Fincham, Cornelius, Stevenson, and Gabbard around the horn on the infield. And again, Kemp is your pitcher. Elizabeth Ivers is the catcher. Third baseman Fincham is way inside waiting for the bunt as, again, Mount St. Joe, they bunt a lot. And Fincham playing that hot corner for Mount St. Joe today. 2 strikes into the count. And a swing and a miss as she got her to offer on that outside pitch for the first strikeout of the ball game.
You know, if you can stay on that outer third with decent velocity or with movement, it's going to be tough to hit, and that kind of not the best of swings right there.
Really kind of fooled her on that one.
Yeah, it did.
Third baseman Caitlin Sarvis is up to bat. She'll hit the ground ball to the shortstop, picked up and thrown out by Macy Cornelius, who on a very nice play, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. For Rose-Hulman, up to bat in third in the order. Number 11 is Nicole Lang, and Lang had a great ball game last weekend.
Yeah, she really did, and the engineers, you look at, you talked about up and down their lineup. They got some young ladies that can get on base, and just need to start it off here. And look like Kemp once again fishing for that outside corner. I don't blame her.
Lang with 7 home runs on the season, batting .438. And again, single season record in home runs for Lang.
Like with that swing, she was
We're the Browns, and this is our account. Our relationship with Riddell really began when we were kids, so when we started our business, it seemed like a natural fit for us.
Riddell's provided all of our financial needs for both personal and business, and we could not be happier with the level of service that we're provided.
Riddell National Bank has helped us grow our business so that we can help grow our communities with the core values that we both share. If you're looking to grow your business, Riddell is your best option.
I'm Ryan Luce with State Farm in Clinton, Indiana.
We're here to help life go right for you and your family.
Our team takes pride in helping families in the Wabash Valley with all of their insurance and financial needs.
We are here to make your claims process simple, like a good neighbor.
At Indiana Land and Lifestyle, we go to great depths to list and sell your property. If your agent isn't willing to go to these depths,
6 acres with bass,
to list and sell your property, don't you think that's a little fishy?
And there's fish everywhere. Oh! And snapping turtles!
For all your Indiana land needs, check us out at indianalandandlifestyle.com.
Oh, that's gross.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
Elizabeth steps in. She'll take that first one in there for a ball. Beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky here in Terre Haute, and temperatures are rising into the upper 70s and probably 80 degrees by the middle of the afternoon.
You know, remember last week I was able to actually search for a cloud and find a small one. Can't do that today. This is literally not a cloud in the sky.
Really nice pitch right there by Worstel as she gets Ivers to wait on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes into the count. Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Ivers the batter. She'll take that one outside. Evens the count at 2-2.
I thought Rose did a decent job last inning, limiting damage, just 1 run crossing the plate. Unfortunate that we had that, but just limiting the damage.
And a swing and a miss, and a strikeout for Worstel as she sends Ivers down swinging. 1 out into the inning. We're at the top of the second. And up to bat now, number 9 for Mount St. Joe, and that's Casey Fincham. She actually bats .414 and is leading Mount St. Joe in batting average. Takes that first one on the inside corner for a strike. Nice pitch.
Wow. Yeah, that had a little break coming inside of just a hair. I thought it might have been a low hair inside, so we'll see. If we can get that inside corner, it might be dangerous, but it would be nice. Right
line shot into center fielder. That'll be a base hit.
Just went right with that, didn't she?
Put that one right where she. Up now. Bottom is
number 7, fielder McDonald.
M. McDonald comes up, batting last in the order. Worstel delivers another one into center, and it's going to drop and runners at first and second, and 1 out of the inning.
You know, it was a good effort there by Lang. Get there, just another half a second. I think she could have been able to track that one down from her perch in dead center. Now you got the top of the lineup, and you know, look at with 1 out. Let's see how we play this. With Button.
Lang appears to be a slap hitter as she was shuffling forward on that one, trying to get her bat on it. She'll try to push it past the third baseman at that point. It's that one in. She bunts it. It's foul for strike 2.
Now, how good of a bunter are you? You know, typically you're going to take the bunt off. You're going to swing away. I don't know. You never know.
I don't think so.
You got to be ready.
Goes in on that one a little bit high and a pretty good pitch, 1-2. It's one of those purpose pitches. If she's going to offer on that, you're going to get an easy strikeout. If she holds back, she's going to go, whoa, almost got hit by that one. And a swing, ground ball, got it to third baseman, force out at third, and they get the lead runner. 2 outs now in the inning. We're in the top of the second. 1 run scored by Mount St. Joe in the first inning, but right now runners at first and second here with 2 outs for the Lions.
You know, so you mentioned that last pitch being a purposeful pitch, the one that came inside, and I think when you saw that last pitch, it was a 2-2 count go outside, which is what you set her up for. That was part of that purpose, and you don't see often that old 6'5" fielder's choice put out, do you?
Not very often, but it was a perfect shot, and
yeah.
The third baseman did a nice job in Caitlin Sarvis in covering the bag, because a lot of times you're going for that one. If you go for it, they have to go to first base with it. Foul ball out of play puts the count at 2-1.
Good thing the umbrella was up, because it actually hit someone's umbrella. You know, there's an old song, you got to know when to hold them, know when to, you know, one of the things that Sarvis, you like that?
I like
Sarvis did not try to throw the runner out at first base. And you're going to, sometimes you just have to eat it. Just hold it, limit the damage, and move on to the next play. You would have had no chance to get her, but sometimes you just feel like you can try to make something happen.
Foul ball out of play, and the count is now 3-2. And again, the runners will be moving on any contact. That's not to Rose-Hulman's advantage, but to Mount St. Joe's advantage.
Something on the ground would be nice.
Stevenson again fouls this one back.
Stevenson with the healthy cut at that time, as she was one of the bunting participants in the first inning.
We saw Wurstel last weekend in the first ball game, and she pitched very similar to this one. There's this shot down the left field. They're going to send it in, and here comes the throw. Too late. And again, should have been the opportunity, but because the runner was moving on contact, they scored easily, and that was Emily McDonald, who rounded third base and didn't slow down at all, making it into home pretty easily on that one, really. And now we have runners at second and third with 2 outs. And again, any contact, be prepared that runner on second base, depending on where that's hit, is going to try to score off of a single.
You know, it was a good piece of hitting when you look at Stevenson, but, you know, when you're looking at Alexi Fortuna in left field, you're not going to get the runner at home. It was hit too deep. Hit your cutoff and keep the runners on first. Oh, boy.
Cornelius Abad, and again, the throwback to the pitcher goes wild. You're going to put an error on the catcher, and that will give another score. They should be out of the inning, so one earned run has scored for Mount St. Joe, and the rest of the runs, if there are any in this inning, will not be counted towards Wurstel.
What I was saying, hit the cutoff. You have runners on first and second. In that situation, the runner would have been second and third now, instead of running across the plate. You don't give a team like Mount St. Joe's extra opportunities. The margins are just so thin sometimes when you're looking at a team maybe plus 500, sub 500 in the win-loss column.
Cornelia just fouls that one off. Kelsey Stevenson stands at third. Macy Cornelius is the batter. 2 outs, and it's a 3-0 lead right now for Mount St. Joe. We're in the top of the second inning. 2 outs in the inning.
It's one of those little things you can kind of write down, jot, point to.
Pops this one up, and I thought maybe she was going to lay out and try it that one. Oh, good effort.
I'm glad she did not lay out for that one, because she'd need a little attention going into that fence. Boy, sometimes self-preservation's good.
It's a good effort by.
It was a good effort, and that's not. There's no pad in there. You go head first in that fence. That's not good.
I know. Not good. I'm the dumb guy that did that too many times. That's the issue right there. 2-2 is the count. 2 outs and a good pitch. She just barely got a piece of that one.
That was a fantastic pitch, and Cornelius, what a great job of spoiling that one, staying alive.
And she hasn't used her changeup till right there.
That's right.
And that was a pretty good time to use it. Just couldn't get the strikeout. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. We're in the top of the second inning, and misses just a high and outside. It's a full count.
So many times you see the pitcher's glove flexing when they're trying to get that extra grip. You know, here comes the off-speed. Not so much with Wurstel.
Oh, another decent pitch. And we're telling right now, Macy Cornelius is battling in there, trying to keep things on her side. Even if they're close, she's getting that little half cut.
All it takes is one mistake.
And there's a big, deep fly ball down to left side, and it's out of here.
I just said all it takes is one mistake, and she got the pitch on the inner third. All those pitches she wasted, got one on the inner third and cranked it out to left.
For Macy Cornelius, that's her second home run of the season, and that's a big one for her.
Yes.
Number 21. Wow. 4 runs on the inning right now for Mount St. Joe, and they lead 5-0 here in the top of the second. Still 2 outs, as the batter up next is number 21, and that's Courtney Keller. She's the designated hitter here in the first ball game. And she laces one right to the left fielder and just missed that one. Was Lexi Fortuna, wasn't able to haul it in, and a stand-up double and another good solid piece of hitting for Courtney Keller. That'll bring up the pitcher, Casey Kemp.
Number 3, pitcher Casey Kemp.
You know, the last at-bat by Cornelius, I think you could make a video out of that and show young softball players about how to approach an at-bat, how to battle and wait for your pitch. A lot of times the coach will say that, Wait for your pitch. Wait for your pitch. But what Cornelius did right there was just masterful in doing just that. You can show a lot of youngsters that.
There's a base hit into left field. They tried to go to first, and they'll have runners at first and third, as Haley Hoffman wasn't able to get to that one quick enough to make the play. Again, Fortuna in the left, Lang is in center, and Hoffman in right, and they're getting action right now because they're able to hit the ball. Mount St. Joe's able to hit the ball into the outfield on a consistent manner right now. Next up to bat, the right fielder, Maddie Kennedy. She lines one just foul down the left side.
I want to ask you, I am a big proponent of pinstripes. I love the pinstripe pants. I don't know how you feel about pinstripe, but I love the pinstripe in a baseball uniform, or even maybe sometimes in a suit jacket. You know, the pinstripes, those are sharp, man. They pop. Don't see pinstripes a whole lot.
I'll go home and pull my pinstripe suit out
Please
just for you.
Will you wear it tomorrow?
I'll probably wear it tomorrow. At least I don't know. I doubt if I'll fit in it. That's the problem. There's a swing and a strike, too. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Maddie Kennedy, again, is the batter for Mount St. Joe. Puts that one in the dirt, and with that, they tried the attempted steal, and they got the steal, and that was a late throw. That's what I know you were going ooh about, because it didn't look like she really had a chance. It was a much closer play than I thought it'd be. It was a good throw.
I was just leery of it going into center field and you get another run crossing the plate. That was my, no bigger concern than making the throw. You make a good throw, you got an opportunity, but if by chance, since you're skipping on dirt, you're going to give up a run.
Morgan holds that one, strike 3, and they got her looking on that one for out number 3 here in the second inning. And Rose-Hulman will be up to bat when we come back for more on Indiana Sports Network.
At ServPro, we offer cleaning services, including the removal of biohazard containments. We have the specialized training and products to get your property back to business. We are here to help get your business back to normal. ServPro in the Wabash Valley, here to help.
Your All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an All-Pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one All-Pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1, you are. You're #1 at York.
I'm Ryan Luce with State Farm in Clinton, Indiana.
We're here to help life go right for you and your family.
Our team takes pride in helping families in the Wabash Valley with all of their insurance and financial needs.
We are here to make your claims process simple, like a good neighbor.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
And the batting order for Rose-Hulman will be Worstel, Pinkham, and Winkler. And Phoebe Worstel will have that opportunity for Rose-Hulman. They've only had 3 batters in the ballgame as they went 1, 2, and 3 in that first inning. So the pitcher, Phoebe Worstel, steps in and will take on Casey Kemp. Again, Kemp came in with a 1.43 earned run average and probably the top pitcher in the HCAC right now.
We're getting that inside corner, and you can only ask for consistency. But pitchers, only the second inning, so this is only the second inning of work for Kemp. You take notice that you're getting that inside corner. Could be a blessing if you can master it.
Third baseman with a great shot right there. Scooped that one up, and Casey Fincham with the put out as a very good play by a third baseman. Fincham on the move and cuts right in front of the shortstop for an easy out.
And that's what you want your third baseman to do. If you can get that, you can snag it. You're going to the first base as opposed to Cornelius going away, have to pivot and turn and throw across the body. Easier play for the third baseman. It's a great job by Fincham.
Second baseman, Ashley Pinkham. And again, as she's had 63 plate appearances and a .286 slugging percentage, .301 on her on-base average. 1 out in the inning. Took that first one in for strike one as she fouled it off. Ground ball. Again, similar play. This one will go under Fincham's glove and past the shortstop as Fincham actually touched the ball. And so we'll see if it's a hit or an error. They're going to give it a hit. She had to roam enough to get to that one. So the first hit recorded for Rose-Hulman by Ashley Pinkham. Jaden Winkler will step in. Jaden playing shortstop this afternoon. Bats .312 coming into the ball game. 1 out in the inning for Rose-Hulman.
You know, both of these pitchers, I think they're doing a really masterful job of moving inside, outside. Especially Kemp. Kemp doing that more than Warsaw, but Warsaw changing up speeds and putting a little more movement on the ball, going outside as well. Changing the elevation level, so that's just grooving everything. I just think Mount St. Joe's on at their at bat being very judicious and waiting for their opportunities. Rose trying to do the same thing. Get on the board here in the second would be nice.
2-0 in the count. Swing and a miss for strike one.
Got to keep that head in there. Kind of sometimes you've seen a couple of swings where that head's kind of getting pulled. That was I heard that so many times playing. Keep your head in there. What are you talking about? My head's right here.
Nice shot down to left field, and it gets past the left fielder as Allie Lang couldn't corral it. Pinkham will stop at third, and again, a nice double that time for Rose-Hulman's Jaden Winkler. And runners at second and third, 1 out, and this is the time for McNavitz to do some damage. Kennedy McNavitz is the next batter, first baseman, and really need her to step up here. She bats .226 on the season, and she needs to get a hold of one here to see if she can put 2 on the board. Ground ball to the third base, double play. They got him.
Whoa.
What a play by the third baseman and Casey Fincham involved in the plays during this one. First with the throw out and second with that huge double play. And Rose-Hulman does not put any across. It's 5-0, and we'll come back for more on Indiana Sports Network.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
Grace Clinic Health Professional. Affordable, compassionate, comprehensive healthcare for the whole family. In Terre Haute and Greencastle.
You are watching HCAC Softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
And welcome back to Rose-Hulman as we prepare for this one again. Mount St. Joe up to bat. It'll be Elizabeth Ivers, Casey Fincham, and Emily McDonald. And Fincham with all involved in all 3 of the outs from a fielding position as a third baseman, and she did a great job with the inning-ending double play, and one of the better plays we've seen this year.
It really was, and just unfortunate. Pinkham was that ball would go foul out of play, but Pinkham had her lead, not lead, but her secondary lead when the ball was hit. That's your instinct. And she really didn't get far off the base. And then once she realized she had to go back to the bag, it was too late. And Pinkham did a great job just slapping that tag, keeping her hand on the ball when she slapped it and just rocking the missile with first base with a double play.
Ivers with 2 strikes and lets that one go as it was just a tad low.
Just Mount St. Joe's, you can just tell they're just well schooled, very solid. You can just tell right on. Allie Lang out there in left field, the way she laid out for that double, didn't quite get to it, but great effort. So some of these small things that you're seeing, her getting back to her feet and getting into the infield to hit your cut quickly. Small things like that add up, and this is a well schooled team that we have here today.
Full count. She'll foul that one off.
I love the way she shortened that swing. Didn't try to do too much with it. Got a nice piece. Foils a pitch. We've heard that before.
Again, Elizabeth Ivers is the batter.
Mm-hmm. Boy, I'll tell you what. Worstel is pitching a whale of a game. I know this is only the third inning. But the level to which that she is pitching is you really can't tell that by the score. At 5-0 score here in the just the third inning, she's honestly pitching better than that. She just is against a really good team and hasn't gotten any breaks.
Well, and the other thing is you're looking at Mount St. Joe. They just keep fouling every good pitch off.
That's right.
They're getting a piece of it. They're staying alive, and when they do that, if she gets anything that's just a little bit off, they've connected with them for.
Oh wow! There you go, outside,
and gets the strikeout. So that's the first out of the inning as Ivers goes down swinging, and here comes Casey Fincham.
Number 9, third baseman Casey Fincham.
And boy, I'll tell you, you're not going to have much a better inning than Fincham had this last one in the field.
Absolutely.
And there's a shot into center field, hits the wall. She's going to go into second with a double.
So many times good play in the outfield translates into a good 8B, and there you had first pitch. She just smokes one out there into left center, and just feeling good. You get to the plate, you're like, all right, I got this. Pop.
Emily McDonald steps into the plate, 9th in the order for Mount St. Joe. They batted twice through the order here, and we're in the top of the third.
These same three started the second inning. Good pitch on the outside. Ooh, I thought we were going to get that. I was hoping we'd get that call there. Good pitch there by Worstel.
And the same three starting that second inning. That means in the second inning, 9 players batted. Score is 5-0 Mount St. Joe as Worstel misses just a little high on that one. 2 balls into the count.
Now this is a dangerous one here. How green is your light, Emily McDonald? Not very. Okay. However, but that was a good pitch, outer third, so she wasn't going to maybe roll that over. Maybe you could have poked it into the outfield, but it's a good take on a 2-0.
1 out into the inning. Ground ball, and that'll hold the runner.
Very nice.
And Rose-Hulman gets the second out of the inning. A very nice defensive play by Jaden Winkler as she paused just enough to hold the runner and still get the out and force that runner back to second base.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I was saying very nice to Finkham to stay put. So many times that contact, your reflex is to move. But you got to know where that ball is hit. That ball was slapped foul there. But you have to see what's going on and be cognizant of where the ball is positioned. You don't want to run into an out. That would have been out number 3.
Allie Lang, the batter, and again, slap hitter, left-hander. She's going to put the ball down that third base line about 80% of the time.
That was strike 2. Yes. So, I mean, this is an important batter for Worstel. Really need to get this batter right here.
There's a ground ball almost in the gap. Somebody's got to cover. Lang is quick enough to get there for the infield base hit. That's her second infield base hit of the ball game. Runners at the corners now at first and third.
That's one of those situations where you're extremely unlucky. There's no way anybody could have gotten to the bag to cover unless you're moving while the pitch is in the air. That was just a perfectly placed ball by Lane.
And a shot into center field. That's going to score a run, and maybe two as Lang is turning around third. No, they hold her. It's a stand-up double, but in the process, again, one more run scores, and it's 6-0, Mount St. Joe. And Stevenson with a shot into center field. It got down and then got past the center fielder, Nicole Lang, and not very many get past her, but this one did because it was a rifled shot.
This is where you have to keep your head up and not get disheartened. Because when you look at the way this is going, you had an opportunity to get out of the inning. You had that double, but you had an opportunity to get out of the inning. A very well-placed ball does not go your way, and then here you go. Here comes the hit parade.
Macy Cornelius in the gap. She's going to have at least a double. She may turn, and she rounds and goes to third. They have a chance if they have a good relay, and they don't. Great hitting and great base running by Macy Cornelius. A triple clears the bases and more runs score. In this case, again, Mount St. Joe proves why they're one of the top teams in the Midwest.
So close. The margins are so thin, Herb. So close to getting out of that inning. But then Allie Lang, I'm telling you, this is a great piece of hitting, and then you start the hit parade. You just have to not get disheartened, and it's hard. It's hard to not slump your shoulders when things aren't necessarily going your way. You're playing a pretty good game, but then the scoreboard does not tell that story at all. You have to stay with it in times like this.
And Keller steps up, and she brings a bat to the table.
She does.
She is just able to turn on things, and don't be surprised if we see another solid shot.
That's why I thought it was so important to get Lang. As we got a two-strike count here. That's why I thought it was so important to get her. Number one, to get out of the inning with no runs crossing the plate. Number two, to keep the meat of the order from getting up.
Keller with 9 home runs on this season, and you can see why, because when she turns on it, she really puts everything into it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's 2 outs in the inning, and we've been that way for a while. Had an opportunity to get out of the inning, but just wasn't able to do it. And there it is. She called third strike, and Rose-Hulman gets the third out in this case. But it's 8-0 as Mount St. Joe has broken this one open. Here in the third inning, we'll be back for more on Indiana Sports Network.
I ran out of my pain meds too quickly.
I took more and more to get through my day.
I did anything to get them.
I needed help. I needed hope. I found them both.
Professional, safe, no wait times, quality treatment. Regain something lost. Call or go to winrecovery.org.
The city of Brazil was founded in 1866. By 1876, there were 2 schools, 7 dry goods stores, 2 hardware stores, 4 churches, and 5 drugstores. One of those drugstores is still there today, Lynn's Pharmacy. Lynn's Pharmacy has grown from a small neighborhood drugstore to a modern pharmacy, offering prescriptions and medical equipment with old-fashioned values and unparalleled service. You can even step back in time and visit Lynn's Soda Parlor
here at Lynn's Pharmacy, downtown Brazil.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
And Rose-Hulman finds themselves at the plate. And designated hitter Katie Palmer, and she'll step up to the plate. 8-0 is our score, and the bottom of the order now, eighth batter in the order for Rose-Hulman, and Palmer finds herself at the plate. And Rose-Hulman had a chance to score this last inning with the runners at second and third. Nice defensive play by Casey Fincham ended the inning, and Rose-Hulman did not score. They picked up 1 in the first, 4 in the second. There's a base hit, a nice one that time. Nice hit by Palmer as she finds herself with a leadoff single.
Left fielder Lexi Fortuna.
And Fortuna, the left fielder, will step up for Rose-Hulman. Bottom of the third inning. And Rose-Hulman is yet to finish the order. This will finish the order for them. And for Mount St. Joe, they seem to score quite amply off of when they have 2 outs.
Yep.
They've just continued to pound the ball in gaps.
They have the second inning and third inning. They did the same thing. 2-out rallies. And I'm just tell you, it's kind of like, body shots. If you're, in a boxing analogy, you just keep going to the body. Take some of that zap, take some of the energy away from your opponent, and then also kind of frustrate them a little bit. And that's, those 2-out rallies is just those body shots. It just takes something out of you. Just like, your shoulders start to slump a little bit. Boom, to the body, shoulders go down. Another shot to the body, up. Head goes down. The doubt starts to creep in. Those are the times we just know who you are. You've worked hard. You've practiced well.
Second base tag. It's a double play.
Another great play. Just nothing you can do. That is just good defense. Kelsey Stevenson grounds the ball, get the ball in her mitt, has her top hand on top of the ball, reaches out with the tag. You don't have to worry about the ball flying out. When you have your hand on top of the ball, which is in your mitt, goes to first, just so well schooled. You've seen that 2 times. You saw that with Finkham, hand in the mitt, don't have to worry about the ball flying out when it makes contact with the runner. You go to first base. You just don't see that often. So many times it's an empty glove. You makes contact, the ball flies out. You don't get a double play that way. This time, well schooled, 2 double plays.
So 2 outs in the inning. And off the pitcher, picks up, and 1-4-3. You're going to score that one.
Why not?
Stevenson picks up all 3 outs in the inning with another tremendous defensive effort. We'll go to the top of the 4th. It's 8-0, Mount St. Joe.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s, Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
From 1971
to 2021,
Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people in central and west central Indiana.
We are committed to the latest therapies
to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
Again, for Rose-Hulman in the field, it's Sarvis, Winkler, Pinkham, and McNevitz. Worstel and Morgan are the battery, and in the outfield, it's Fortuna, Lang, and Hoffman. Up to bat for Mount St. Joe, number 3, and that's Casey Kemp, the pitcher. And again, she's working on the pitcher for Mount St. Joe.
Oh, she really is, and she is getting a lot of help in the field. Her, when you have the confidence in your team, then you can just let it rip. And not that she's just grooving everything right down the heart of the plate. She definitely is not doing that. But she's pitching freely because she knows that, the 7 behind her had to think about that quickly. The 7 behind her have her back.
Really nice play that time for Jaden Winkler as she gets the out, and McNevitz with a nice stretch and out number 1 in the inning. And we'll see next batter up, number 4. It'll be Maddie Kennedy up to bat for Mount St. Joe.
I wanted to say the 9 behind her, but obviously that's not right. And you got her, and then you got some quick math. You got to think on your toes around here. You got to think on your toes. I don't want to embarrass myself. Engineering school, I can't do some simple math like that. You know what I mean? If my son ever applies here, they're going to say, man, his dad can't count. We're not going to let him in.
8-0. Mount St. Joe with the lead. Kennedy with the drive into center field. And a nice play out there by Nicole Lang as she tracks that one down for out number 2.
Now here we are. 2 outs. Nobody on. You know, it's I guarantee you, maybe not all of them, but out of the 9, I guarantee you there's a few of them that are thinking, oh, okay, we've been 2 outs before. Now let's put this inning to bed.
Well, Ivers can hit the ball. I mean, she just lights up there. Now, she dropped the bat when I said that, and then she looked like she was like, nobody saw that, did they? She picked that thing up, looked right back at it. Again, Elizabeth Ivers batting .382, 5 home runs on the season. When you look at it, it's almost home run alley here as you go down through the top 6 players. It's 3, 7, 5, 1, 9, 3, 1, and 1. That's the number of home runs in the top of the orders. When I say this, like all the lead batters, all of them have enough power to hit it out.
Yep. It's just do they get a pitch that it can drive? So I'm not going to try to turn on everything. We've seen that today. They'll go with the pitch as they should.
And Ivers fouls this one up. It's potentially playable, and a great play that time. Kennedy McNavitz with the play, and at the end of the inning, first time 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 4th for Rose-Hulman. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th where the Fighting Engineers will come to the plate. You're watching Indiana Sports Network.
I'm All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor for York Automotive. York is my #1 pick for your next car, truck, or SUV. Shop from over 600 vehicles at yorkautomotive.com today.
You're #1 at York.
There was a time when your local pharmacy defined your community. Before the days of long lines and drive-through national chains, pharmacists gave your health personal attention, and you always met with a familiar face. Back then, your questions were always answered, even when you forgot to ask. In Brazil, Indiana, that friendly local pharmacy has always been Lynn's Pharmacy since 1872. We are a modern pharmacy with the latest technology, still deliver that old-fashioned, friendly personal service today. Experience the tradition with your family at Lynn's Pharmacy in downtown Brazil.
I'm Ryan Luce with State Farm in Clinton, Indiana.
We're here to help life go right for you and your family.
Our team takes pride in helping families in the Wabash Valley with all of their insurance and financial needs.
We are here to make your claims process simple, like a good neighbor.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
And welcome back to Terre Haute, Indiana. Mount St. Joe taking on Rose-Hulman. We're in game 1, bottom of the 4th inning, where it's an 8-0 Mount St. Joe lead. Again, for Mount St. Joe in the field, it's Lang, McDonald, and Kennedy. Around the horn, it's Fincham, Cornelius, Stevenson, and Gabbard. Casey Kempspin, the pitcher, and Elizabeth Ivers, the catcher for Mount St. Joe. For Rose-Hulman, Caitlin fouls that first pitch off. Takes that one outside. Give her a next pitch. Sarvis will take that one high, too.
I like that pitch. You want to offer at that, and you're doing to miss it or just pop it up, and probably in the infield. Not going to drive that. Good pitch for 0-2 count. Oh,
takes another one up there.
That one was a little lower, and that one was a little. I think that was probably a little harder to take. But Sarvis, it had so much heat on it that sometimes helps you to take it because you don't see it in time anyway. But boy, that was a good pitch as well.
Foul ball right off her foot.
Kind of dove inside there as stay alive with the 2-2 count. We now have clouds, Herb, just so you know.
I'll tell you that it rained where I was last night.
Did it really?
Rain and lightning.
Wow.
Foul ball out of play.
Oh, almost a great play in the stands there.
I was just glad I didn't have a great play in my car.
Oh, dude, I just got out of my car today to walk over here. I parked, by the baseball diamond. Foul ball, 2 bouncer comes right toward me. I'm like, oh, did I park in the right spot?
Another foul ball. That one's going to hit something back there. 2-2 is the count. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Busy day here at Rose. Baseball in action, tennis in action.
Ground ball. They'll get it to the shortstop. Cornelius turns and throws her out. And Macy Cornelius has had a great ball game as well, hitting that and then a real nice play. That's right. Making it a tough play. She really played it pretty well.
You know that hop, you're going to get true hop. Unless it hits a rock that might be on the infield, you're going to get a true hop. So she judged that beautifully. Just waited, just the poise, and she knew how much time she had.
Nicole Lang batting 438. She's an excellent hitter, and she needs to get herself on base to see if Rose-Hulman can get something started. We've had a couple of ball games where Rose-Hulman has fell behind in this about 6 or 8 runs, and then all of a sudden it comes screaming back in the 4th and 5th inning. We'll see if this could possibly take place, but Lang, that type of player that never gives up on what's going on. Center fielder for Rose-Hulman. Watching Casey Kemp as the pitcher for Mount St. Joe again. Under 2 on an ERA, but more importantly, she just keeps that ball moving. It's a different location every time. The other thing, if you'll notice, is the pitchers are being called to her. They're not signaled by the catcher. They're actually numbers that she's getting, and she'll look on her card like she did right there. Nice line shot, but guess who's there? It's Macy Cornelius, and Lang really had a good power shot on that one, but couldn't get it by stop.
One of those situations where you hit it right to the opposition. Good contact on that is he's got to tip your cap.
Not much you can do with that one. Worstel now the batter, the pitcher. 2 outs in the inning. We're in the bottom of the 4th. She'll take that first one in there for ball 1. We'll bring the second ball game to you 1.5 hours after the end of this first ball game. Takes that one high. That was almost a bit outside type of pitch. As you'd look at it, go, whoa, that was way out there. Pitch and fouled off as she fought that one. And you can hear that one hit.
Nice little dud.
Two and one's a count, 2 outs in the inning. Worstel with a swing. 2 and
that corner, as Kemp has done a number of times today. It just makes batter have to cover so much of the plate. It makes it tough.
And a swing and a miss. That Rose-Hulman brings 3 to the plate, and 3 go down, and we'll move to the top of the 5th inning where it's 8-0 Mount St. Joe.
We were choosing colors for the house, and I stopped and looked at Mike and said, "We're really doing this, aren't we?" The process was challenging, but Riddell was there for us every step of the way. The mortgage, closing, they eased our stress. It made sense when Mike said,
"We're really doing this."
Mortgage loans made easy from Riddell. Making friends since 1885.
At Indiana Land and Lifestyle, we go to great depths to list and sell your property. If your agent isn't willing to go to these depths,
6 acres with bass.
to list and sell your property, don't you think that's a little fishy?
And there's fish everywhere. Oh! And snapping turtle.
For all your Indiana land needs, check us out at indianalandandlifestyle.com.
Oh, that's gross.
At ServPro, we offer cleaning services, including the removal of biohazard containments. We have the specialized training and products to get your property back to business. We are here to help get your business back to normal. ServPro in the Wabash Valley, here to help.
And up to bat for Mount St. Joe is Casey Fincham, the third baseman. Takes that first one in there for a strike. Fincham bats eighth in the order.
Kemp says, "Oh, okay, all right." I'm sorry, Fincham says, kind of, nods her head. You get the inside corner, you get the outside corner. Oh, okay, all right.
And she hits one. It's going to go off of Winkler and they're going to call that an error probably, but.
There's a difference between the last inning when you look at, on the other end, Cornelius waiting back as opposed to charging it. You get that, that time. You want to charge it. That's what you're taught, but sometimes you get yourself that short hop, and it's so tough. So, Winkler not able to quite make that play. And let's see how you respond now. There you go.
And another strike. And when you look at Worcester, she's just been consistent around the plate.
Very.
A couple 1 or 2 foot moves on positioning is going to make a big difference. Fly ball into right field. Hoffman gets it, and out number 1, and they'll hold the runner back to first.
Right after that error, the very first pitch after that error was a beautiful pitch that had movement on it, pumped in there for a strike. So Worcester, has kept her dander up, as they say, just staying with it, staying composed, shoulders up, head back, and just keep charging ahead.
I hate to tell you this, but they're going to need to make sure they keep it inside on Lang all the time, and she does both pitches there because if you let it out over the plate, she's going to slap that thing into left field, and she's a great hitter, leadoff hitter for Mount St. Joe. She's had a really productive day at the plate.
Really has, and reached base all 3 appearances.
Ball into the dirt for ball 1. 1 out, 1 and 2's the count. But you're looking at Allie Lang, and it's like, here it comes. Got the swing and the miss for out number 2.
And that's a big strikeout right there, as strikeout number, I believe, number 5. For Worcester this afternoon.
Kelsey Stevenson up. Pitch outside for ball 1. Again, Stevenson second in the order for Mount St. Joe. 2 outs in the inning. Takes that one over the outside corner for strike 1.
I personally, I think Worcell's pitch today considerably better than she did last week. And I thought she did a good job last week. Today, she's on. I mean, she is on right now. She's hitting her corners very well, especially in the last couple of innings. You see some good movement on the ball. I think she is really dialed in, pitching a really good game.
Well, and the other thing we saw last week where she got herself behind a little bit and her dauber was down and that the entire team didn't field well. They're playing hard even though they find themselves in a hole 8-0 to Mount St. Joe because they know Mount St. Joe's good.
Sometimes your opponent, I don't want to say that like raises your level, but there you go again. Your deuces.
Got Deuces Wild, number 22 at bat, 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and there's the strikeout to end the inning. And again, Phoebe Worstel with 2 solid innings with goose eggs up there. The problem is Mount St. Joe with 8 runs on the board, and Rose-Hulman will try to do something with it when we move to the bottom of the 5th.
Your all-pro running back Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an all-pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one all-pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1.
You are.
You're #1 at York.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
Interesting statistic from our SID here at Rose-Hulman, Kevin Lanke. 29 strikes for Casey Kemp so far in the afternoon. 9 balls, and we're in the bottom of the 5th inning, which means almost everything that she's done has caused players from Rose-Hulman to hit when they have. They fielded well, and she is cruising along here with a shutout here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pinkham takes that one in there and swings and misses for strike 2. That was an interesting statistic, by the way.
Very interesting. That was kind of stunning to hear that.
Ashley Pinkham at the plate. 2 strikes into the count. She'll pop this one up to the left side and hauled in that time by the third baseman, Casey Fincham.
You know, I mentioned Worstel actually pitching a really good game, and I have, Worstel for only 1 walk, that being back in the first inning, 6 strikeouts, and so a couple of errors of kind of hurt her cause, and a couple of unlucky breaks as well, and she just has pitched a good game. But then you look at Casey Kemp, and she takes that to a whole new level, doesn't she?
She sure does.
Ooh.
Jaden Winkler is a batter, swing and a miss on the first one, and she does the same on the second pitch.
Yeah. Kemp has good velocity, has hit her corners as well. I love pitchers that live on the corners, and both of these pitchers today have done a great job of that.
In the dirt for ball 1. Again, if you're watching us, you know that we've got a doubleheader going on. So after the completion of Game 1, we'll move to Game 2 a half an hour after the finish of this first ball game. Well, what Rose-Hulman has done, they're not drawing walks, but they're not striking out, and they are putting the ball in play. And when you do that, I mean, it moves very quickly. Foul ball, and catcher took that one right off the top of the head.
Yeah, you also give yourself opportunities. You put the ball in play and put a little pressure on the defense, make them do what they're supposed to do. And Mount St. Joe's right now is doing it. And Coach Gill comes out to check on Elizabeth Ivers. And Ivers said, "I'm good, Coach. I'm good. Go on back to the dugout."
Nothing phases me.
Yeah. She's looking at her like, "What? This is a glancing blow." And it was, but good for the coach. Come out and check on your player.
Well, anymore you have to do that.
You do.
Concussion protocol, you want to make sure everybody's okay. She caught that one off the edge real nicely, and a full count now for Rose-Hulman's Jaden Winkler. Full count, 1 out. And they'll get the walk on that one, and Rose-Hulman has a runner aboard. Up comes McNevitz up to bat. Kennedy McNevitz, the first baseman for Rose-Hulman.
First walk of the day issued by Casey Kemp. That's only her 17th walk as the runner moves. Oh, boy.
They went for the steal. They got it, and that was a nice one. Winkler in there pretty easily.
Yeah, that's aggressive. That's aggressive right there. You know, when you get out of the double play situation, well, theoretically, you got to get out of the there's no force out at any base, but first right now. So let me put it that way.
Foul ball, and I'll tell you what, the last couple pitches, that pitch was in there with some heat.
Yes.
Can't put a little extra on that one. Kennedy McNevitz. She'll pop this one up short, and it's caught that time. Nice play by Kelsey Stevenson to catch that ball right in that area where it could have dropped. Made a nice play over her head.
She really did. Just ranged back and to her right. That was a tough play to make. Able to call off Maddie Kennedy. Kennedy had a little bit of a long of a run to get there. Rose-Hulman down to the last out.
Katie Palmer. Strike one.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see two more just like that. Or as many more as it takes.
Low for ball two. Two outs in the inning. An 8-0 Mount St. Joe lead here in the bottom of the fifth. Runner on second base. Swing and a miss, and they say it's foul tip, so is it going to go back?
You know, it's a good job by Winkler to be ready. Just if it's not foul tip, there's no way she could tell that. If it's not foul tip, you know, catcher drops the ball, you get to scoot on over to third base. So, you know, in an 8-0 game, you're down to your last out. You're still staying head in the game and playing.
And a swing and a miss, held on to, and again, opportunity for Rose-Hulman. They just couldn't get this one done.
Yeah.
So with the 8-0 lead, that will conclude game number one, and we will move on and take on another ball game here in about 35 minutes. So about 30 minutes, we'll be back on the air as we break for this one. Again, totals Mount St. Joe with 8 runs on 12 hits, no errors for Rose-Hulman. They did not score, had 3 hits and 2 errors in fielding. Mount St. Joe scored in the first second. It was a goose egg, and pretty good pitching duel once you got past that third, and again, the fourth and fifth innings for Worstel. She was on fire and really doing a nice job, but Mount St. Joe is an excellent ball club, and we'll see what happens in game two. Again, we'll be back on the air in about 30 minutes, and we'll see you then. You're watching Indiana Sports Network.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network. This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network. You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
Welcome to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, the U.S. News & World Report's #1 engineering school in the United States that offers a master's as its highest degree for 20 consecutive years. Rose-Hulman, where you come to find yourself. Find yourself through personal growth, through personal development, through study, research, and invention. Rose-Hulman, your home for academic and athletic excellence.
This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.
And welcome back. Game number 2 here. It's Rose-Hulman against Mount St. Joe. Allie Lang for Mount St. Joe steps up to the plate and takes that first one in there for a strike. For Rose-Hulman, Lexi Fortuna, Nicole Lang, and Katie Palmer are in the outfield for the Fighting Engineers. Takes that one low and outside for ball 1. Morgan Joyce is at third. Jaden Winkler is at short. Caitlin Sarvis at second. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And Kenny McNevitz is the first baseman. Ashley Pinkham moves from second base to become the pitcher in this one. So Pinkham is the pitcher. Takes that one right down the middle, but a little bit low, and it's even the counts at 2-2. Mackenzie Morgan is.
You know, sometimes the team doesn't miss on very many opportunities, and just we've seen a couple of opportunities today where Mount St. Joe's able to turn on a pitch, and they haven't had a whole lot of opportunities to turn on pitches. That time, Stevenson got one and made the most of it. And that's what you want to do. You want to make the most of your opportunities, and that one, she let it ride.
Macy Cornelius is the next batter for Mount St. Joe. Ground ball scooped up by Joyce. She has out number 2 as well. Morgan Joyce comes in to play third base, and their rotation for Rose-Hulman is they'll take Phoebe Worstel, who is the pitcher in game 1, move her to designated hitter. Joyce will come in. Katie Palmer, who was the designated hitter, goes into right field. So they get the rotation. And again, both these teams do a very similar rotation, as you'll find out with Mount St. Joe as well. Courtney Keller, who's the pitcher in this ball game for Mount St. Joe, and she was the designated hitter in game number 1. So very similar idea in rotating their top about 10 or 11 players. Both teams will continue to play those and just switch positions.
And Keller foul tip, got that one off of her foot or ankle.
Bounces up. She's going to try. No, she held her to a single. Really nice play by Lexi Fortuna. She gathered that one in and quickly got it to second base and held the hot hitting Keller to just a single.
And that's one of those opportunities where Keller is going to round first hard to see if the relay's good, see if it's bobbled, and it was good. She's going to stay at first base.
Maddie Kennedy, the batter for Mount St. Joe. Kennedy playing right field like she did in game 1. Puts that one in, foul down the left field line. One ball, one change up. She got that one in there.
She did.
That could have been a payoff pitch if she'd have been able to get the second strike on her, because she had her knees bent on that one. 1-2, and foul tips that one off. A nice job by Kennedy to just get her bat on the ball. She was completely fooled in timing.
I was wondering how she's going to back up that pitch, and you see, kind of went to the well once again.
Fouled it off again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs in top of the first, where a home run's been hit by Courtney Keller. Or excuse me, and you're really looking at Mount St. Joe with that opportunity. Counts even now at 2-2. Ground ball, scooped up, and Joyce with the third put out of the inning for the third baseman of Rose-Hulman, and Rose will come to bat in the bottom of the first inning. They trail 1-0.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s,
Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
From 1971
to 2021, Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people in central and west central Indiana. We are committed to the latest therapies
To improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works. Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
And welcome back to Terre Haute, Indiana, where it's Mount St. Joe taking on Rose-Hulman here in softball. Game number 2 in this one. We want to thank our sponsors, Great Dane, the Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Riddell National Bank, Ryan Luce, State Farm Insurance, Mossy Oak, ServPro, and York Automotive. Transportation for Indiana Sports Network is provided by York Automotive with 5 locations in Brazil, Greencastle, Crawfordsville, and Plainfield. Mackenzie Morgan, the catcher for Rose-Hulman, will lead things off here in the bottom of the first inning. Rose-Hulman trails 1-0 as we enter into this one. New pitcher for Mount St. Joe, it's Courtney Keller. Puts that first one right in there for a strike. Tough play, and they get her. Nice job by Fincham. Again, you can't fault her very often as she's made several quality plays.
She really has. And you never know what kind of spin you're going to get when the ball falls to the dirt, and see how much action it's going to have. If it checks, if it goes to the left, to the right, and, boy, Fincham just stayed right with it. Soft hands, able to grab that and fire.
Caitlin Sarvis is the batter for Rose-Hulman here in the bottom of the first inning. There's 1 out. Again, the new pitcher is Courtney Keller. Keller with a 3.75 earned run average. She's 8-5 on the season in 13 appearances. She's had 8 complete games and pitched 69 innings, and she's the second leading pitcher for Mount St. Joe, and giving her that opportunity. Again, she can pitch the ball as well. 2 balls, 1 strike. Even the count at 2-2, there's 1 out in the inning. And again, Sarvis at the plate for Rose-Hulman. Sarvis will be followed by Nicole Lang, who's playing center field again in game number 2. And then the designated hitter is Phoebe Worstel. Misses outside with that one, and it's a full count.
Rose-Hulman seeing some pitches. Seeing what the umpire's going to give. Where's the strike zone? How far outside is the pitcher's going to be able to nibble?
And She gets a shot, and it's out of here. Single home run and a great shot by Caitlin Sarvis.
You know, some people can
3-1
carry a tune. You give me a bucket, it's not gonna happen. With Flex Seal all over, that tune will fall out of my bucket.
Ball.
Oof.
They're going to call that a strike.
That was a late call, and I'm thinking, where's that?
3-2 now, full count. Nobody out, runner at second. And Winkler is the batter. Puts that one in and popped it. Go back to second. Got it. That's a double play.
You have to get back, Herb. It's in the air long enough. You have to get back. There's nobody on first. You cannot get doubled up in that situation.
2 outs now as the double play was executed by Mount St. Joe. Kennedy McNevitz up to bat for Rose-Hulman. 2 outs now, nobody on base. I did sing the national anthem one time this year. Yes, I did.
This year? Where at?
Well, where I teach.
Okay. Very good.
So, oh yeah. Ooh, a swing and a miss.
Was it a quick version, or did you just draw that puppy out?
I just sang it regular.
Okay. I mean, because some people like to take their time with it.
You didn't know that too, right?
Yeah, I forgot that one.
Actually. Oh, that one. Ooh, a high and inside. 1-2. Now, the guy I'd like to hear sing here would be Kevin. You get Kevin Lanky to crank one out. That would be the best.
My wife can do it.
2-2, 2 outs here, bottom of the second for Rose-Hulman. Huge hole up the middle, and she drives this one back foul out of play. Still 2-2.
Big hole up the middle is an understatement. You could, that is a.
You get it by the pitcher, you're pretty good shape.
Almost.
But they don't. Hits it to the second baseman. Stevenson gathers up and throws her out, and that's the end of the inning. Rose-Hulman with no runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. And we'll go to the top of the third. It'll be Mount St. Joe at the plate. Scores tied 1-1.
At ServPro, we offer cleaning services, including the removal of biohazard containments. We have the specialized training and products to get your property back to business. We are here to help get your business back to normal. ServPro in the Wabash Valley, here to help.
Your All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an All-Pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one All-Pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1.
You are.
You're #1 at York.
I'm Ryan Luce with State Farm in Clinton, Indiana.
We're here to help life go right for you and your family.
Our team takes pride in helping families in the Wabash Valley
with all of their insurance and financial needs.
We are here to make your claims process simple, like a good neighbor.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
So, number 7, it's Emily McDonald to lead off the top of the third. Ground ball again, a nice play, and gets her. That's Morgan Joyce, who's been really hot in the hot box today for Rose-Hulman here in game number 2 as she's gathered up everything you hit to her.
That is her 5th out that she has recorded Out of the 7 outs that have been recorded for Mount St. Joe so far.
Here comes again. Bunt, right back, fire.
What a play.
Out number 2. And not very many pitches right now, as that's a good thing as well for Rose-Hulman, as Ashley Pinkham has been around the plate and low enough they're having a lot of trouble. They are not elevating the pitches except for the one that they hit out of the park. But the score's tied 1-1. Another shot, and it couldn't get that one. It hit the hole. So a base hit right there by number 22, Kelsey Stevenson, as the second baseman ends up on first base with a single. So a 2-out single by Stevenson will bring up shortstop Macy Cornelius.
And you got to be careful here. They have the meet of the order coming up. They've done a lot of damage here today.
Nice pitch over the outside corner. As again, Pinkham has kept the pressure on by throwing enough strikes to keep it going, and then keeping the ball low enough. They've had a hard time getting it out of the infield. Another ground ball. This one foul. She's done a really nice job by, again, keeping that ball low enough. They're not able to drive it out of the infield.
Good scoop right there by Morgan. Able to keep that one right there in front of her, as the base runner was ready to scoop Kelsey Stevenson.
Ground ball, hot box, gets it again. Joyce with another play. Wow. Her 6th out of the ball game, and that ends the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The score tied 1-1. You're watching Indiana Sports Network.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
Grace Clinic Health Professional. Affordable, compassionate, comprehensive healthcare for the whole family. In Terre Haute and Greencastle.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
And we want to thank our sponsors for today's game: Great Dane, the Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Riddell National Bank, Ryan Luce State Farm Insurance, Mossy Oak, Surf Pro, and York Automotive. And again, here we are, bottom of the 3rd inning, score tied 1-1, and Mount St. Joe is leading the conference coming into the ball game. They had a 5-0 undefeated conference record. They won the first ball game. That makes them 6-0 in conference, and they picked up their 20th win. Score tied here in the bottom of the 3rd, and Rose-Hulman has advantages going on. They played very well here in the second ball game. Palmer, the batter for Rose-Hulman, playing right field in this ball game. Katie with a ground ball to the second baseman. It's booted, and Stevenson will pick up the air.
Yeah. And that's a tough one. It was interesting because that ball had some spin on it, going towards the first base bag, going toward first base, and you got to the spot. Kelsey Stevenson did a good job getting to the spot, but she kind of overran the ball just a tad bit. Kind of maybe hit it on the heel of the glove, or that palm, I should say.
Lexi Fortuna up to bat for Rose-Hulman.
Now, what do you do with the opportunity, Rose?
Trying to bunt her and move that runner across.
Yeah.
It looked like it was called a ball, but I
couldn't tell. Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Popped it up and caught.
Yeah.
So out number one, you definitely don't want to do that. Lexi's going to have to get that ball on the ground, if anything else, just to move runners, and wasn't able to do it.
You know, you talked about how in this game pitchers have done a good job getting the ball down. You know, person's trying to get a bunt down. You elevate the pitch a little bit, they pop it up just like that. So
nice pitch.
Yeah.
One out in the inning. And a shot into left center. Caught. A diving catch, and a really nice one that time by Allie Lang as she hauls it in for out number 2.
Well, she's flashed a nice glove. Had an opportunity in the first game which she was not quite able to make. But this time lays out, comes up with it, pops up, gets the ball back into the infield. Just very solid out there and left.
Caitlin Sarvis up to bat for Rose-Hulman. Runner at first, 2 outs. Bottom of the third. She puts that changeup right in there on the inside corner, and a nice pitch for Keller. Two outs in the inning. High with that one.
Of course, Sarvis went yard in inning number 1, so you see that off-speed pitch coming from Keller to start her off.
Golfed that one up for out number 3, and that's the end of the inning. So one runner left on base, but Rose-Hulman doesn't get anybody to cross the plate, and we'll go to the top of the 4th with our score tied 1-1. You're watching Indiana Sports Network.
The city of Brazil was founded in 1866. By 1876, there were 2 schools, 7 dry goods stores, 2 hardware stores, 4 churches, and 5 drugstores. One of those drugstores is still there today, Lynn's Pharmacy. Lynn's Pharmacy has grown from a small neighborhood drugstore to a modern pharmacy, offering prescriptions and medical equipment with old-fashioned values and unparalleled service. You can even step back in time and visit Lynn's Soda Parlor
here at Lynn's Pharmacy, downtown Brazil.
It could be anyone. The star student, the all-state athlete. I never thought it could happen to me, that I could lose everything. I found help, I found hope, I found recovery. I regained something lost.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
It'll be Keller, Kennedy, and Miller up to bat for Mount St. Joe here in the top of the 4th inning. And Courtney Keller has been the pitcher. Both of the pitchers in the first inning gave up single home runs, and there's a deep fly ball down the left field line, and it is foul.
Barely by the hair, my chin. Ooh, that was tantalizingly close to a 1-run lead for the Lions.
And she didn't like that one.
No.
Yeah, she didn't miss it by much, but at the same time, she missed it. And
that's all that counts.
Just got to play the next one. 1-1 is the score, top of the 4th inning. Everybody has seen Ashley Pinkham as we've gone through 3 innings. And again, we're the 4th batter in the order for Mount St. Joe in their normal order.
Those last 2 pitches basically in the dirt, and see if Keller will chase, and she did not. Now you got to come to her.
Ground ball, scooped up and throw them up. Throw them out. Here it comes, and Morgan Joyce. I think I'm keeping track right now. That's 7.
I am too.
7 outs for her.
Yeah, I started last day, and I'm like, okay, once we reach 6, I'm like, okay, now you got to keep track. I don't know what kind of the record. I'm looking at Kevin Lanke, looking at records for most put-outs in the game here at Rose-Hulman. Maybe we'll get that to you.
They go to bunt.
Great bunt.
They do. Picked up by the catcher, and she isn't able to do with it.
No
Everybody paused for a half a second on that one to see who was going to go get it. And normally, and I'm just going to say that from a catching perspective, that catcher has charge. They're supposed to take the ball and immediately attack it, and everybody's supposed to back off, but that's not what happened.
Yeah, even if it did, they wouldn't have gotten it. I mean, that was a great bunt. Boy, I'm glad that went foul. But it was a great bunt by Maddie Kennedy.
Lauren Miller, the batter, and she almost gets a bunt and doesn't mean to as a swinging bunt. But, yeah, the catcher's supposed to take charge of that one, go in, get it as hard as you can, and throw them out. Another foul ball as Miller
just
having
rolling
trouble.
over on it. Rolling over on that.
Yep. And with that, that's another ground ball out if they can get it in between the lines here and see what happens.
Double play is in order. Let's see if we can get one here. That'd be big.
Right to the first baseman just as you die. Batter's box. Saw that very often.
You remember we talked about that last week, throw into the bag?
Yep.
And I just.
But nobody was there to cover. Nobody was prepared to run and get it.
You got 2 outs, and it's a 1-1 game here in the 4th inning. Let's not change that. I know you want to be aggressive, try to get that 3rd out, but you're not going to get it at second base throwing behind them against a team like this. You're not going to surprise anybody. They'll get back to the bag. The only thing that can happen is it scoots away and the runner advances. Now you have an opportunity with the pass ball. You give up the lead. So only bad things can happen in that situation.
2 outs in the inning, ground ball. They'll ground it out again. Yes, and that's the ends the inning for Rose-Hulman. A nice play again by Morgan Joyce, her 8th put out. And we'll move to the bottom of the 4th. Score tied 1-1. You're watching Indiana Sports Network.
I ran out of my pain meds too quickly.
I took more and more to get through my day.
I did anything to get them.
I needed help. I needed hope. I found them both.
Professional, safe, no wait times, quality treatment. Regain something lost. Call or go to winrecovery.org.
I'm All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor for York Automotive. York is my #1 pick for your next car, truck, or SUV. Shop from over 600 vehicles at yorkautomotive.com today.
You're #1 at York.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
1-1 is our score. We're going to move into the bottom of the 4th, and really can't say enough about how Ashley Pinkham has pitched for Rose-Hulman, but more importantly, Morgan Joyce, from the defensive standpoint, every ball hit to her, she's been able to field and throw them out. That's 8 putouts for Morgan from third base, and that normally doesn't happen in any sport, let alone in women's softball here at a collegiate level.
Yeah, that's just tremendous. And a job by Joyce thus far, and it just really is helping out her pitcher, Pinkham, is going to be feeling pretty good about the defensive effort.
Nicole Lang up to bat. Lang takes that one inside, and Lang has the bat. I mean, she's .424 on the season. 7 home runs. Powerful player. She gets one deep, but it's in territory where they camp underneath and pick up the out. Allie Lang does that one for Mount St. Joe, and there's 1 out in the inning.
Keller did just enough to keep Lang off balance. She had to reach for that just a tad bit. Was not able to get any extension. And you have to pop out.
Worstel now the batter for Rose-Hulman, and Phoebe takes that one. Ball 1.
Ball just dies on you when it gets close to home plate, doesn't it?
She has a pretty good changeup.
She does.
Throwing it early in the count, but if you don't get the strike, it's actually back for you. And Worstel wants that pitch back.
Yeah, that's why you throw those change-ups early in the count. Try to keep the batter off balance. You're not blowing it by anybody. Kind of like last game. Did a little different in velocity. So you got to mix up those pitches really well.
Outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Just love once again. Pitchers are trying to hit that outside corner. They're really going after that outside corner. I love that. Wouldn't be surprised to see Buster in here.
Yeah. High for ball 3. Rose-Hulman has drawn a couple walks the last 2 innings.
That's right.
But have not been able to get a run across.
I was really hoping to see Phoebe with the runner on. See if we can get a little rally started, but that's not the way it's going.
She pops this one up. Just misses us.
Yeah, no thud. I thought we were going to get one. Had some little girl shagging the ball a little bit ago. Just had a big old smile on her face, bringing the softball back towards the stands. So it's a nice day to have the kids out at the ballpark today.
Full count.
Oh, what a pitch!
And they got a great pitch. And you could see that ball was spinning big time. She threw that one, and it's almost like a baseball slider is what that was. A really nice pitch. Picks up the strikeout for the second out of the inning.
Remember the little spinning, little tops? Just spin that thing on the ground, and you could just see that circle just so tightly spin. When that ball, we have a great vantage point up here in the press box. You see that ball, the way it spins, you see that dot on the softball from the seams.
Ashley Pinkham at the plate. Counts 1-1. 2 outs in the inning. Score tied 1-1, and we're in the bottom of the 4th.
You saw Keller just going through her mechanics, not happy with her release point or something there. Mechanically knows what she needs to do, just has to adjust.
Nice change. Pinkham just out in front of it just a bit. Two strikes now in the count to Ashley Pinkham. Tomorrow.
You read my mind.
Sometime tomorrow we're gonna play a baseball game here.
We are.
If that rain holds off after noon, we're gonna have that happen. 2-2 is the count.
That was close. Yeah, it's scheduled for noon, but it's a fluid situation, right? We'll see. Hopefully we get the thing in there.
Fluid is the word to use because
right.
we're going to get some fluid coming down tomorrow night.
Yeah, we
Foul off on again. The 2 strike, and Pinkham's protecting that plate.
Good stretch of weather here this week.
Beautiful.
Just been a gorgeous week. I've been enjoying not having to run the air or the heat. It's been wonderful.
And Pinkham is protecting the plate as best she can. She's going to have a little more power on the swing if she's going to get it out of the infield, but doing a nice job and making sure right now Keller throws as many pitches as possible. Not because she'll wear out, but just to see if she can get something she can hit.
Get a mistake. See if she'll get it, run into one.
Inside.
No way!
Strike.
Gosh.
And he calls it one way. He'll call it the same way the next time, and it'll be fine. But it's 1-1 as we go into the top of the 5th. You're watching Indiana Sports Network.
We're the Browns, and this is our account. Our relationship with Riddell really began when we were kids, so when we started our business, it seemed like a natural fit for us.
Riddell's provided all of our financial needs for both personal and business, and we could not be happier with the level of service that we're provided.
Riddell National Bank has helped us grow our business so that we can help grow our communities with the core values that we both share. If you're looking to grow your business, Riddell is your best option.
At Indiana Land and Lifestyle, we go to great depths to list and sell your property. If your agent isn't willing to go to these depths,
6 acres with bass,
to list and sell your property, don't you think that's a little fishy?
And there's fish everywhere. Oh! And snapping turtle!
For all your Indiana land needs, check us out at IndianaLandandLifestyle.com.
Oh, that's gross.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
And we want to thank our sponsors for today's game: Great Dane, the Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Riddell National Bank, Luce State Farm Insurance, Mossy Oak, Surf Pro, and York Automotive. Transportation for Indiana Sports Network is provided by York Automotive with 5 locations in Brazil, Greencastle, Crawfordsville, and Plainfield. Casey Fincham up to bat for Mount St. Joe, and she hammers one into center field. It's deep and over the outstretched arms of Nicole Lang, and a double for Fincham.
You know, Fincham has really seen the ball well today. That's her 3rd hit of the day, her 2nd double here in between these 2 games. She has really been on base. This is her fourth time on base today. Scored a couple of runs. Just played a great third base. Had a really solid performance today.
Emily McDonald.
Oh, wow.
That's a tough one.
Interference? What? Or the ball just missed the ball? What happened?
Swing and a miss. It's a foul ball. It came off of that, I believe.
Was it a foul ball? Okay.
That's why nobody advanced, nobody moved.
Okay.
Everybody was dead. So strike 1 into the count. And I like at that point, the umpire giving that catcher a chance to wait on it. Foul ball. Should have been one. And they're going to say, no, she didn't.
Yeah.
Looked like it was from this vantage point, as that ball took a different angle.
Yeah.
1-1 the count. Runner advanced to third base. Nobody out. Don't be surprised if we're going to see a squeeze here. Just outside, 2-1's the count.
There was your squeeze. Paper's blowing all over the place here.
We're having fun, I know that.
Wind. No.
2-2's the count. And just over the outstretched arms of Morgan Joyce for a double.
Oh, man, she didn't
I'll tell you,
know.
great base running right there for Mount St. Joe.
She had no idea the runner was bearing down on her. Somebody's got to be communicating with Caitlin Sarvis there, telling her that she's got a runner. You know, sometimes the ball will just find grass, Herb, and
it did.
Emily McDonald just found that spot.
But now you got the dangerous top of the order in Allie Lang. 2-1's the score now as Mount St. Joe takes the lead here in the top of the 5th.
Who's covering the third? Yeah, boy.
It
my.
Found the wickets. It found every hole it possibly could. She's going to second, and that is a very intelligent base runner.
Yes, it is.
Allie Lang says, nobody's paying attention. Nobody's paying attention. I'll go to second. Now runners at second and third with nobody out here in the top of the 5th, and the big potential inning is up for Mount St. Joe. Runners at second and third and nobody out, and they have a chance they can do anything they want, whether it's bunt him in or try to drive him in. And with Stevenson, they're going to drive him into center field, caught by Lang. They're going to catch and throw it down. That's a beautiful throw by the center fielder, Nicole Lang, as she stuck one right down the pipes.
She did. That was a great throw. It was a good job by Mount St. Joe's to kind of bluff, draw that throw. You never know. You might get a wild one. So it's a great throw by Lang to hold those runners.
Macy Cornelius up to bat. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball.
I'd love to have somebody covering the throw back to the pitcher.
Puts it in, bunt, foul.
I thought she left really early.
Looked like it.
I mean, not early. I'm talking about really early that time.
1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Foul ball down the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Is again, Macy Cornelius up to bat.
Everybody's got to be covering something. Potential throw back to the pitcher, potential throw down to third base, potential throw to second.
Fires that one in. It's into right field. Tags. There's the throw. It's coming in. They're going to score the run. A really nice job on the slide in there is Emily McDonald, as she really has been, I think, the catalyst for this ball game for Mount St. Joe. Not only did she score the run, but she had the tremendous hit to get the run in the first place. So an RBI for her, and now a scored run, and the score is 3-1. Mount St. Joe with the lead here in the top of the 5th, as they've plated 2 runs here in the 5th inning.
Now you got to be careful. Runner on third base. I still.
Courtney Keller is the batter, and
That's
she hits
gone.
this one, and it's gone. Right over the top. You could tell it was hit. When it left, everybody was like, oh my. 2-run shot. 4 runs plated now in the 5th inning.
On the screws, man. Just hit it on the doggone screws, and there's just no doubt. It's one of those where nobody just flinches. You just say, okay, all right. Let's get a new ball in here, and let's get the next batter.
See what we can do. It's 5-1.
Number 4, right fielder Maddie Kennedy.
So Maddie Kennedy will step up to the plate, playing right field here in game number 2. And she laces one in the gap. It's not going to go very far. They're going to hold her to a singles. A nice play out there by Lexi Fortuna. Gets the ball in very quickly for Rose-Hulman. But a base runner's on.
Number 25, designated player Lauren Miller.
So Lauren Miller will step up to the plate, and it's interesting because Mount St. Joe has kind of slowed the ball game down here right now.
Getting I kind of would expect the umpire to go break this up here at some point, and the extended opportunity for some tutelage, which is nice, but at some point, it's kind of like a trip to the mound. You got a certain time. She was just in the dugout for quite a while. I know the situation has changed, but at some point, Blues got to go, hey, let's go.
I don't know if that's an advantage or a disadvantage because the pitcher for Rose-Hulman has just been shelled a couple times, and she wants the break. So that's not a for me, that's like, oh, that didn't really help you as much.
Yeah.
It may have hurt you.
For me, it doesn't matter. With Mount St. Joe's, I don't think it matters. They're just that good. It won't matter.
Lauren Miller takes it. Oh, my goodness, she hit that thing a ton.
You're kidding.
2-run shot by Miller.
Oh, my gosh.
And it was gone when it left.
Mercy sakes.
She crushed that one.
Oh.
And we, folks, when you're looking at this, when we said it was gone, when it left the bat, it was gone. There was no fly ball intended on that one at all. It just was gone. 6 runs in the inning, and it's a 7-1 ball game.
That was a really impressive shot. That was launched. Wow.
2 outs in the inning. And Mount St. Joe just keeps hammering it. There's a ball right down the line. They're going to hold her to a single as a really nice job by Fortuna again, getting to that one.
That's her first hit of the day. Ivers finally able to get the bat moving a little bit. That's her first time being on base today. And I know she's feeling good about that.
You know things are going well when Fincham comes up. She was one of the first batters in the inning. And the first base coach has to run back with her elbow pad.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a pinch runner. But the first base coach has to come back with Fincham's elbow pad to put it on her. Number 0 into the ball game for Mount St. Joe. We have to look on the other side. Alyssa Whitmer in comes Rose-Hulman, and we're going to have a pitching change. We'll take a short break and talk about that when we come back. You're watching Indiana Sports Network.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes has the mission of leading every coach and every athlete into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ and His church. Through camps and huddles, character coaches, and special events, we are making an impact in West Central Indiana. Check out where you can get involved at our website, wcindianafca.org. FCA, we are the heart and soul in sports.
At Great Dane, we are proud to invest in our people and the communities we call home. We are hiring now for trailer assemblers and welders across the country. We need the makers, people who are ready to make a difference. We need you. Build something bigger for yourself and your family with great health benefits, advancement opportunities, 401k, pension, and more. Apply today at greatdane.com/careers.
Fincham had a double to start this inning.
She did.
And all of a sudden, Mount St. Joe just explodes. 2 home runs. And coming with them with 2 outs.
Fincham just tried to yank one there.
Worstel back into pitch. She pitched in the first ball game.
Oh.
And a wild pitch. That'll get over the top. Runner advances to second base. So Fincham, the batter. Worstel into pitch as she relieves Pinkham. Puts that one in the ground. It's 2-2. Outside for another ball. It's 3-2 and a full count for Fincham. And a strikeout will end the inning, but the damage is done. 6 runs in the inning, and it's a 7-1 ball game when we return for more action on Indiana Sports Network.
Treatment for those with mental illnesses and addiction issues has evolved over the years.
In the late 1960s, Indiana's mental health system began to take shape.
From 1971
to 2021,
Hamilton Center has touched the lives of thousands of people in Central and West Central Indiana.
We are committed to the latest therapies
to improve the quality of life for those with mental illnesses.
Treatment works.
Recovery is possible.
And thank you, Indiana.
We were choosing colors for the house, and I stopped and looked at Mike and said, "We're really doing this, aren't we?" The process was challenging, but Riddell was there for us every step of the way. The mortgage, closing, they eased our stress. It made sense when Mike said,
"We're really doing this."
Mortgage loans made easy from Riddell. Making friends since 1885.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
So it'll be Winkler, McNevitz, Palmer in the order for Rose-Hulman. High for ball one. We want to thank our camera operators for this afternoon's ball game. Kanan Harper, Nathan Cowan, and Grant Hainig. We're produced and directed by Tony Harper, and our video technician is Keith Lawson. And a base hit up the middle.
Just, you know, when you see the ball that's elevated like that and inside, you don't necessarily see it kind of be fisted out there outside of second base like that. She really kind of got up, got her, her arms up and muscled that through for that single.
And it's Kennedy McNivets. And here it comes on the outside, and they're going to call that a strike. Seven to 1 the score, and 6 runs that Mount St. Joe scored this last inning, and there wasn't much you could do with that one. Nice stolen base again. She can run with it as Jaden Winkler, as she has a couple stolen bases on the afternoon.
Got a runner in scoring position with no outs, so you got to bring her home.
And fouled off way ahead of that pitch. Tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon, we're going to be playing a baseball game here as well. Scheduled to start at noon, more than likely to start a little bit after noon, as they'll have to field prep due to the potential rain that we're going to see. Pops this one up, but it's out of play.
That was loud. Like on the bleachers.
The next Friday, or this Friday, it's Rose-Hulman Track and Field Invitational, and senior night starts at 4:30. We'll have that on the air as well. Next Saturday, April 22nd, it's Bluffton at Rose-Hulman for a softball doubleheader, and it's senior day. 1 p.m. start for that softball game, just like it was today. Swing and a miss, they'll get the strikeout. Out number 1.
Now batting number 23, right fielder Katie Palmer.
Katie Palmer will step up to the plate. Again, runner in scoring position if they can get a decent base hit. And she got a base hit, but it's really quick. Center fielder gets that one in a hurry and holds the runners to first and third base. So runners at the corner with 1 out, and up to the plate will step Lexi Fortuna.
And Jaden had to hold up just to make sure that McDonald was not able to make that play. And even if she would have gone on contact, it would have been hard to score on that.
1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Alexi Fortuna at the plate. First one just a little low.
Yep.
And takes that one outside. Our sponsors of the game today, again, Great Dane, the Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, and Riddell National Bank. Ryan Luce State Farm Insurance, Mossy Oak, Serve Pro, and York Automotive. Luna takes that one in there. Again, they're going to say that's low. 3-0 and a chance to load the bases with a walk.
Yeah, this Keller is trying to find the strike zone here to Fortuna. No, she don't want to put her on here. Load the bases with 1 out.
Takes that one as well.
That's surprising. That's surprising. First walk issued by Courtney Keller on 4 straight to the ninth place batter to load the bases. That's not something I saw coming.
Well, at the same time, the leadoff hitter is up, Mackenzie Morgan from Knox High School in Indiana. I will tell you, I don't know where Grovertown is, except I know it's near Knox.
Got to be near Knox.
And I take it you've been to Knox?
Have not.
I have. Interesting place.
What makes it interesting?
Part of the school's on one side of a road and part of the school's on the other side.
Now that would be interesting.
Okay.
All right.
So you got classes on one side, the gym and other facilities are on the other side. Low and inside, and Rose-Hulman could have something going here in the bottom of the fifth if they can keep people moving and put them on base.
That's 6 balls in a row by Keller.
They may not let her last too much longer. And she's still trying to pitch strikes. She has an opportunity to do so.
There's one.
Finally gets one, fouls it off.
Kind of surprised we were hacking there at 2-0 after 6 balls in a row, but she got a pitch that was grooved. So
and if she took that to right field, it would have been a potential hit. She just turned on it a little bit too much and popped it up. 2-1, 1 out. Bases loaded. And she gets one to left field. It's deep enough. They're going to tag and score a run. So nice run. And they get that sacrifice fly out there. Runners at first and second. 2 outs now in the inning as Mount St. Joe would easily sacrifice the out in that situation.
Yeah,
give up the run and take the out. Caitlin Sarvis, ground ball right back to the pitcher, and she'll get the out. And that will end the inning. Rose-Hulman scores 1 run. The score is 7-2 now in the ball game as we'll move to the top of the 6th inning. You're watching Indiana Sports Network.
At ServPro, we offer cleaning services, including the removal of biohazard containments. We have the specialized training and products to get your property back to business. We are here to help get your business back to normal. ServPro in the Wabash Valley, here to help.
Your All-Pro running back Jonathan Taylor here for York Automotive. Looking for an All-Pro deal on your next car, truck, or SUV? York is my #1 pick. With over 600 vehicles in stock, York has the largest selection to meet your needs. We're talking new, pre-owned, and commercial vehicles. Take it from one All-Pro to another, York has your best deal.
Shop online at yorkautomotive.com and we'll show you why we're not #1, you are.
We're not #1.
You are.
You're #1 at York.
I'm Ryan Luce with State Farm in Clinton, Indiana.
We're here to help life go right for you and your family.
Our team takes pride in helping families in the Wabash Valley with all of their insurance and financial needs.
We are here to make your claims process simple, like a good neighbor.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
So Emily McDonald, who had the hit to change the ball game, as gave Mount St. Joe the lead back 1 inning ago, just in the 5th inning, where Mount St. Joe scored their 6 runs in the 5th. And she hits another deep shot right in the gap, goes to the fence, and she'll end up in at second base. Stand-up double. She's pounding the ball.
She is. She, just what can you say? Hit that in the gap and just an easy double there.
When you hit it hard, that's just the way it goes. If you're not familiar with things, you can see her put on the mitten. It's a sliding mitt. Slap shot through the hole. Runners at first and third.
Somebody go get their glove
Here
quickly.
comes
You might need it.
She almost took second base again.
It's the second time we've seen that today where ball just goes underneath the third base, goes underneath shortstop's glove. Hit it right at the right spot.
Just out of the reach of both of them. A diving stop would have stopped the ball to the outfield, but it probably would have still given her that opportunity. Looking, they've got her run down and first and third.
Don't do it. No. You got to run. You give up the run. That's what they want you to do. They just trying to bait you into giving up their run, and that works. You have to stay disciplined, be focused on the runner. If she takes second base, okay, not the worst thing in the world. Second and third with no outs is not great, but you can't give up that run.
So that run scores. It makes it 8-2. So one run in the inning, and with that, Kelsey Stevenson up to bat. She'll take a big cut. Misses on that one.
And then the after all of that, no disrespect, but the chances of that run scoring were very high. So it's not like just because of that she scored, she wouldn't have otherwise. With runner on third, no outs, most times Mount St. Joe is going to score that runner.
Allie Lang is the catalyst of the play, though. She knew she couldn't make it in on just an easy one and forced the throw. And if you run her back to first base and run at the runner from third, you got a chance to get an out.
That's right.
But you can't do it if you're going to throw it 2 or 3 times back and forth there, and that's what they did. Full count now.
They just keep putting pressure on you, Mount St. Joe's. Just want to squeeze another run in there.
A swing and a miss, and that's an out for out number 1.
She didn't get cheated because that was a healthy cut. Ball was down, but that was a healthy cut.
And Macy Cornelius, who's had a great ball game this afternoon. Actually, 2 ball games.
Yeah.
8-2 is our score. Gets the strike call. Evens the count at 1-1. Oh, a beautiful bunt.
Go foul. No, it doesn't.
It didn't. I'll tell you what, she was really close, and if she's going to take second.
Now they're just playing with them. Nobody was covering the home plate. The catcher hadn't gotten back yet. Oh, boy.
Well, she made the turn to go to second, and there was nobody covering second, and the center fielder had to run in, and she was too late. So a base hit, and she takes second, and I believe that's a stolen base. And up to bat right now for Mount St. Joe, number 21, that's Courtney Keller, the pitcher. And she carries a big bat.
Yes, she does.
They need 2 runs to force the 8-run limit. And that's a tough one. They hit the catcher, and you're going to have to wait on that one because that hurt.
What is it after 6, though? It's 8 after 5. What is it after 6? Is it still 8? I don't know. I don't know that one. I don't remember.
That was a direct hit. Hopefully it didn't do any damage to the collarbone, but she's going to have to take it out for a little bit.
Yeah, her day might be done.
Yeah.
That was a tough one there.
Because when it hit, it felt pretty solid. It ricocheted instead of being absorbed by anything. So that means you're going to have some substitutions going on for Rose-Hulman. Let's take a short break. You're watching Indiana Sports Network.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have. And that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
Grace Clinic Health Professional. Affordable, compassionate, comprehensive healthcare for the whole family. In Terre Haute and Greencastle.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
Lexi Fortuna will move from left field into catch, and will move over as, again, Katie Palmer moves to left, and Haley Hoffman comes back in to play right field. So a little bit of rotation as catcher for Rose-Hulman, Mackenzie Morgan, takes one in the shoulder, and it's a pretty good shot. So she'll leave the ball game, and they'll evaluate her, and hopefully everything's okay.
We're going to have some conversation here. Interesting. Not sure what the conversation is going to be about here.
Well, the umpires have called for a conversation. Is it a substitution violation? Shouldn't be.
I don't know how it would be. And Mount St. Joe's coach is, I think, called for, is questioning something. Not exactly sure what that would be. I think players at this point, you just want to stay loose and not pay attention to what's going on. There's nothing you can do about that. I see a lot of players are standing and kind of everybody watching that conversation. But keep your focus on the game. Maybe somebody toss the ball, War and Fortuna, maybe get a couple tosses in or have a conversation. Outfield conversate. Infield, somebody pull it in. That's what I would like to see at this point, to be honest with you, as opposed to everybody just standing and watching and waiting to see what's going to happen. So you want to stay focused in, lasered in. One thing that I question, or I'm wondering about her when we start to play with a new catcher, does Worstel, can she will she be able to stay low in the zone? Will she be too worried about the ball getting by Fortuna? So I wonder if that changes her pitch selection as we still focus on this conversation between the coach and umpire. What do you think? The question would be, what can you guess? This is your wheelhouse here. You coaches slowing things down here. What's going on?
Well, she's talking about some rule application to see if she can get an out of this thing or change what's going on, and I don't know what she's after.
What could there? Yeah, I don't know what. Is she hoping that? Is she saying that the ball wasn't? I don't know. You want to get a strike off the board so it's not an 0-2 count? This is just really curious. I am glad that finally you look at Rose-Hulman. They're meeting in the circle. They're having a conversation. Outfield is starting to talk a little bit. So the last thing you estimation is stay stationary, be stiff for a couple of minutes, and then not be ready because you're 0-2, 1 out, runners on second and third, trying to not get run ruled. So you don't want to be stationary and stagnant, and then play starts, and all of a sudden, oh, I'm not ready. I'm not, So I'm glad that they, decided to talk, and now we're ready for play, whatever that might have been about.
1 out, runners at second and third, and she misses high with that one.
Very important now, for me especially. I love to see Caitlin Sarvis backing up the throws to the pitcher.
Deep fly ball. It's up for a little bit. Tagged the runner. They're going to score the run.
Almost.
Got it to third base, but the ball was dropped. Potential on this one. 1 run scores. It makes it 9-2. So there's a runner at third base with 2 outs. A base hit will bring her in. And number 4 for Mount St. Joe is Maddie Kennedy.
We're going to have more conversation.
Two outs in the inning. Runner at third base. Strike 1. And in, again, Worstel back in. We saw this happen this last Saturday. Where again, Pinkham looks able to finish through the ball game. They go to bunt and it's a foul. I haven't seen a hard bunt yet either. We haven't seen somebody try to hard bunt this thing past the pitcher yet either. Foul ball. 2 strikes now in the count, 2 outs. And Worstel has a couple pitches to play with here. Let's see what she does with them. Swing and a miss and struck her out, and they're out of the inning. 2-run score. It's 9-2 when we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're watching Indiana Sports Network.
There was a time when your local pharmacy defined your community. Before the days of long lines and drive-through national chains, pharmacists gave your health personal attention, and you always met with a familiar face. Back then, your questions were always answered, even when you forgot to ask. In Brazil, Indiana, that friendly local pharmacy has always been Lynn's Pharmacy since 1872. We are a modern pharmacy with the latest technology, still deliver that old-fashioned, friendly personal service today. Experience the tradition with your family at Lynn's Pharmacy in downtown Brazil.
At Indiana Land and Lifestyle, we go to great depths to list and sell your property. If your agent isn't willing to go to these depths,
6 acres with bass,
to list and sell your property, don't you think that's a little fishy?
and there's fish everywhere. Oh, and snapping turtle.
For all your Indiana land needs, check us out at indianalandandlifestyle.com.
Oh, that's gross.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
It'll be Lang, Worstel, and Pinkham in the order for Rose-Hulman here in this inning. Courtney Keller back on the mound with a 9-2 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Strike over that inside corner.
Well, we're going to play 7.
Boy, for a while we knew we were playing 7, and then all of a sudden that 6-run inning almost ended up with the 8 runs being scored in inning number 5, as the opportunity was there for Mount St. Joe, but they couldn't put those last 2 runners across.
Of course, if Rose plays 15 this inning,
it'll be over the other way. That's how it works. There's a shot, but it's a little bit too high, and it's going to haul in there in the outfield, and Emily McDonald's camps underneath it for out number 1. She got a lot of it, just got it up in the air too high. Worstel now the batter. So Phoebe steps in. Hammers one foul.
So Worstel has come up. This is her 6th plate appearance. Only one time has she come up with a runner on base.
Yeah.
You know, so Mount St. Joe is doing a great job. You don't want your middle of your lineup coming up with runners on base. They've done a pretty good job. Of course, Rose-Hulman did get the long ball earlier in this game. So that did help one time. So actually, the one time Phoebe had a runner on that got cut down, the second base trying to steal. That was in the first inning of this game.
Yeah. 2 strikes into the count, 1 out in the inning. And a 9-2 Mount St. Joe lead.
Where's the little girl shagging the balls? I've seen the parents here having a hard time getting it over the dugout. This is the second or third time I've seen a parent not be able to toss it back in.
Worstel knocks that one foul.
I wish we could get a camera. This guy's over 2. He's just trying to get it. You don't want to launch it because there's not much space between the fence and the dugout. He's over 3. He can't get the ball back in play. Just toss it, dude. Just toss it. There we go. This is how he slam dunks it. And I wish people could. They're like, what is this fool talking about? Man.
And our producer's thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
I just wish we could have got a camera on that. That was kind of amusing. I found it amusing, at least.
1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's a 9-2 Mount St. Joe Lion lead. Fighting Engineers have been fighting. They've had 1 inning in each of these 2 ball games that's really just taken them out of it. They're just fighting to hold on. And a swing and a miss and a really nice pitch by Keller for the 2nd out of the inning.
Out of her 5 strikeouts, I think probably 4 of them have been on that change. She has just put it in the right spot, as far as not just position, but just using at the right time, not overusing it. Then she comes in with a fastball inside corner right after that, which she also has done multiple times after a strikeout.
Ashley Pinkham is the batter. They're going to give her the call on that one for 2 strikes.
Nip the front part of the plate, I suppose.
1-2's the count. Again, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 6th.
Wind freshening over to right field. Hope to see if we can get one up.
And they set that one up outside, trying to get the strikeout by pulling it off the plate. Almost did it. Nice job by Pinkham to get her bat on the ball.
Yep.
"14 hits for Mount St. Joe in the ballgame so far. Rose-Hulman with 4, as Pinkham fouls that one off as well.
That was a nice hack right there just to stay alive and see another pitch. Not many outs to work with at this point.
Changeup, gets it up the middle, and a base hit.
Good piece of hitting right there. Good piece of hitting. You found your pitch, stayed back just enough on that change, and slapped that thing up the middle. Good effort there by Keller and Cornelius. Neither could get a glove on it.
Well, I don't think anybody was beating on a trash can or anything, but she did. She was waiting on that.
Yeah.
Really nice job of hitting for Ashley Pinkham. Shot up the middle, and that's going to be the end of the inning as, again, nice contact, but right to the shortstop. And Jaden Winkler is out for out number 3. We'll go to the top of the 7th. The score, 9-2, Mount St. Joe, when we return for more on Indiana Sports Network.
It could be anyone. The star student, the all-state athlete. I never thought it could happen to me, that I could lose everything. I found help, I found hope, I found recovery. I regained something lost.
We were choosing colors for the house, and I stopped and looked at Mike and said, "We're really doing this, aren't we?" The process was challenging. But Riddell was there for us every step of the way. The mortgage, closing, they eased our stress. It made sense when Mike said,
"We're really doing this."
Mortgage loans made easy from Riddell. Making friends since 1885.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
And up to bat, Mount St. Joe, number 25, Lauren Miller. And she hit an absolute bomb the last time up to bat. Swing and a miss. For Miller, that was her second home run of the season.
That was one of the most majestic home runs I've ever seen. That was just a glorious moonshot.
And with that, a strikeout. Nice pitch by Worstel and gets her to swing for out number one. That'll bring up number 18, Elizabeth Ivers. Swing and a miss.
A little late.
And that's an interesting thing to look at the two pitchers for Rose-Hulman, because when they make the switch, early in the switch, everybody's having trouble because they don't have the timing.
Right. But at the same as well, they did see her for a full game.
Yeah.
So at least there's that. So you should have that muscle memory kind of at this point. And I tell you, Ivers was on that pitch, just a little bit underneath it. And she fouled that one straight back. Let's get her here with this 2-strike count.
Yeah. And got her. Strikeout in this one.
Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 7th.
Number 9, third baseman, Casey Fincham.
Casey Fincham is the next batter for Mount St. Joe.
Face has done a lot of damage today. He's done a lot of damage today.
And pops this one up for out number 3. And with that, we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Rose-Hulman at the bat with one last chance. You're watching Indiana Sports Network.
At Lynn's Pharmacy, we're more than just your pharmacist. We're your neighbors.
Our kids go to the same schools. We eat at the same restaurants.
We sit next to you in church.
When I listen to a symptom.
When I fill a prescription.
When I offer advice, I'm not just helping a customer. I'm helping my neighbor and a friend. My name is Lynn Hofstetter, and I'm the proud owner of Lynn's Pharmacy, a modern pharmacy with old-fashioned values and personal service, dedicated to keeping you, your family, and our community healthy since 1872.
Here at Lynn's Pharmacy, downtown Brazil.
There is a greatness inside of you, a passion, a strength, a determination. So embrace it. Embrace the greatness that you bring to everything you do. Embrace the idea that you can do work that makes an impact, work that keeps the country moving forward and our economy strong. Because not everyone has what you have, and that's exactly what connects you to all of us at Great Dane. There's greatness inside of you. Are you ready to embrace it?
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network.
Leading off the Rose-Hulman 7th, number 14, the first baseman, Kennedy McNevitz.
So McNevitz checks in here. Rose-Hulman needs 7 runs to tie, 8 to take the lead in the win. McNevitz fouls that one off. Ground ball right back to the pitcher for out number 1.
Number 23, left fielder, Katie Palmer.
So Katie Palmer steps up. Palmer's been able to play as the designated hitter and then moved into the outfield here in game number 2.
So the other pitcher threw like 50 pitches last game, which is 100 this game. So at least made it work.
14 hits pounded out by Mount St. Joe. 5 hits for Rose-Hulman here in this one. Palmer again steadies herself. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Outside corner is just the pitcher's best friend today, I tell you, or most days.
I want to thank our sponsors for today's game, the Great Dane, the Hamilton Center, Lynn's Pharmacy, Riddell National Bank, Luce State Farm Insurance, Masio, Serve Pro, and York Automotive. And a swing and a miss.
I was starting to wonder if you're going to put a duh in front of everything there.
I was getting close. Full count. And a swing and a miss got her to strike out here in the bottom of the 7th. Down to the final out for Rose-Hulman. And
Number 3, the catcher, Lexi Fortuna.
Lexi Fortuna, who's moved from outfield to catcher in this ball game and really done a nice job when she's been in there.
Yeah, she has.
Lexi from Griffith, Indiana, Bishop Knoll High School. Takes that one in the dirt. Again, we'll be on the air tomorrow somewhere after noon for the Transylvania Rose-Hulman baseball game. Pops this one up out of play. Next Saturday, it'll be Bluffton taking on Rose-Hulman here in a softball doubleheader with a 1 o'clock start. And this Friday, it's Rose-Hulman Track and Field Invitational, where it's senior night, and we'll have that broadcast for you as well. Powers that one, but it's foul as Fortuna got most of that one.
Yeah, she did. I've seen that a few times here in game number 2 where you get a foul ball to the left side. There's that little girl going for the foul ball. Go get it.
Keller with the pitch. Ground ball to the short. Picks it up, and Cornelius throws her out, and that'll be the ball game.
Can of corn. Cornelius is solid here.
9-2 is the final score as these two teams will meet and shake hands. So next Saturday we will be on the air with again. It'll be again Bluffton will come to Rose-Hulman for a 1 p.m. Senior Day doubleheader this next Saturday. We'll have the ball game for you here live on Indiana Sports Network. We've had a great time bringing you some softball this afternoon. 2 ball games. They didn't go Rose-Hulman's way, but you can also see those ladies doing a great job, not only here on the softball field, but also in the classroom. As again, it's a privilege to have the opportunity to play sports here at Rose-Hulman, as it is in every institution here in Division III in the HCAC. And we'll wish the best of luck to Mount St. Joe as they continue on. They're undefeated in conference play. And again, closing in on that national ranking. We'll see what happens here in a very short amount of time as an excellent ball club and they did a great job this afternoon as well. For my partner, Walter Gordon, I'm Herb King, and we'll say so long from Terre Haute, Indiana, where Mount St. Joe takes 2 from Rose-Hulman in softball. Again, we'll be on the air this next week on Saturday afternoon, where it'll be Bluffton. The Lady Beavers will come in and take on Rose-Hulman. So long, everyone.
You are watching HCAC softball at Rose-Hulman on the Indiana Sports Network. This program is a copyrighted production of Indiana Sports Network and cannot be shown, reproduced, or redistributed in any way or in any form without prior written permission from Indiana Sports Network.